Well, they're standing and cheering, and for good reason, at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. It's number 15 against number 19, and it also is for bragging rights in the state for 1998. Aaron Brooks, just a year ago, boy, what an outstanding game he had in this matchup with Virginia Tech, and the Hokies realize that, and Mike Gottfried, they want to make sure that he does not get loose the way he did in 1997. By the way, a belated happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. You too.
You have seen this Virginia team since the get-go. You had a Thursday night game when they opened against Auburn. This is a lethal weapon offensively when they get the machine going, isn't it?
Ron, you're right. Aaron Brooks hasn't had the numbers that he had last year because Jermaine Crowell, who was his leading receiver, is off to pro football. But he gashed this Virginia Tech defense last year with big throws and threw 4 touchdown passes. But he really is going to have to rely on his 1-2 punch of Thomas Jones, the running back who averages 124 yards rushing per game. But he also has 24 receptions, leading the ACC in the running back, so he can catch the football out of the backfield. They need to have mix because they're going to play against an 8-man front that's going to crowd the line of scrimmage.
Frank Beamer, Virginia Tech. When I hear Frank Beamer's name, I think first of defense, and then I think about special teams. It's not a lot of sleep for coaches that have to go against these units from Virginia Tech.
No, they put a lot of pressure on you. Defensively, we talked about the 8-man front. They're crowding the football. They're blitzing people. The kicking game, they blocked so many kicks, and they just put so much pressure. The non-offensive touchdowns under Frank Beamer 8 this season. But it gives the offense of the Hokies a little bit of chance to play conservative football and play to the kicking game and play to the defense. But Ron, the key in this ball game is going to be which team can get the big plays, because I don't think either one of these offenses can drive consistently against the opposing defenses.
So we will see. Frank Beamer, 12 years at Virginia Tech, 76, 58-2. He's 4-7 against the Cavaliers. And this man, George Welch, 17 years at Virginia, 120 wins. He's 500 against the Hokies. David Green has it teed up as Virginia won the toss. They deferred, and Tech will receive. Chiron Stiff, I should say, against back deep. And this kick is going to go off the hands of one of the Hokie players, so that's not going to be a penalty, and out to the 35 as Kendrick touched it, and the Hokies are going to take over with very poor field position. And let's go down and check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Ron, thanks very much, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends as well. You know, these very special teams here at Virginia Tech have really become the pride and joy for Frank Beamer. Literally, that's what he calls his punt and kick block teams, his pride and joy team. When he calls them up and sends them into the game, he expects them to live up to their reputation. This unit has blocked more punts and kicks in the 90s than any other team in college football, and that has George Welch scared. As a matter of fact, in the week off prior to this game, Ron, the primary concern in practice wasn't offense, wasn't defense. It's how do we protect the punter. And I'm telling you right now, whether it's an actual block or intimidation and subsequent field position, the pride and joy team will play a role in the outcome of this game.
That they will. And Adrian, you can see the officials have changed their mind. They say the ball went out of bounds, was not touched, no possession, and therefore it moves it out to the 35 is where they take it over. As Pegues gets the first carry, and it gives us an opportunity to give you the Zales starting lineups offensively for Virginia Tech. Clark at quarterback, Pegues, who just carried, and Jarrett Ferguson. The receivers, Ricky Hall, he's the go-to guy. Angelo Harrison and Derek Carter's the tight end. And up front with the offense, Derek Smith and Dwight Vick. That's the side they like to go to. Both very active, very good offensive linemen at tackle and guard.
Ron, big splits on the right side between the right guard and right tackle.
Under pressure, Clark couldn't find him open, gonna run. Has 5, has 10, 15, 20, 25, loses the football, and who got it? They still scramble at the 41-yard line. Burnham is the man who knocked it loose. It will stay with Virginia Tech.
Ron, deep drops by the linebackers of Virginia. Al Clark's going to go back, set up the throw. Now he's looking to his right side, gets a little pressure, steps up, now sees a gap and a hole that he can take off and run. The linebackers, deep drops, secondary and a deep zone coverage. Al Clark took advantage of it.
See, Burnham knocked it loose, almost got it, then Clark almost got it, and they continued to fight for that thing down the field, and it was recovered, I believe, by Ferguson. But the big thing for Virginia Tech already at the 41-yard line of the Cavaliers. Pegues weaves his way to the 37. A senior out of Thomasville, North Carolina. Virginia defensively, this is the way they look. It is Sanders, Anderson, Antonio Dingle, and Patrick Kearney, the down four. The linebackers, Green, Wally Rayner, and Byron Thweet. In the secondary, it is Harrison Spruill, a Legby, and Adrian Burnham, who caused that fumble just a moment ago. They are the beautiful day in Blacksburg, Virginia. Absolutely perfect in a packed house. Short drop, quick pass, got it complete to Hall, and Hall is going to be tackled, but not before he picks up the first down at the 27-yard line. And I mean just like that, it is Virginia Tech moving the football against Virginia.
Well, a couple big plays on Al Clark's scramble. Tim Spruill made a nice tackle there. That'd have been a touchdown because he was isolated on Ricky Hall.
Patrick Kearney, number 58, to look at him as he
good size splits here, Ron. Yep. Excuse me, right guard, right tackle.
Quick pass, got it to Hall. And let's check in with Larry Beal. Larry?
Hey, Ron, you got the Battle of Virginia. How about the Battle of Georgia? Georgia Tech. Bulldogs getting sneaky. Quincy Carter to Michael Greer. That was a lateral, and wide open is Larry Brown, 65 yards. And you're not getting me down. 7-0 Georgia.
Well, when you're 6'6" and 270, you can't push people around like that.
And that Michael Greer just continues to make plays for that Georgia football team.
Second down. Pegues breaks one tackle, then being knocked forward by Donnie Green. And the ball came loose, but they said nope, it was dead. And from where they had marked it, he is going to have another Virginia Tech first down.
On a high school All-American, Lamont Pegues out of Thomasville, North Carolina, rushed for 6,000 yards in high school, enrolled in Clemson, played 2 seasons, transferred here to Virginia Tech.
Well, he's a very strong runner and has the speed. Now, he can break it if you give him that open. But one of the things that's not a knock, they just say he's a very quiet individual. He doesn't talk a lot. He just gets it done through his actions. From the 15, he gets the pitch. Nobody out there with him to lead the block, and he is going to be knocked back. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, a nice job by Byron Thweet. First of all, the linebacker, because he played it very well. He was outside. He kept his feet. Adrian Burnham then comes up and makes a hit. There's the Thweet right there with a good play, and then Burnham comes up and finishes him off. So really no place to go on the option.
8th play of the drive coming up. Line of scrimmage just inside the 15. Second down, no score. If you just joined us, we're just underway. About to have played the first 3 minutes of the battle for the Commonwealth of Virginia. Complete to Hall again. As we mentioned, he's the guy they like to go to. Have the completion, but he steps out of bounds around the 9-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down, and they still need about 4 more to pick it up.
Dwayne Stukes again right there to make the play. Little short passing game for Al Clark. Good cushions by the Virginia Tech receivers. A lot of depth by the defensive backs of Virginia.
Well, as we mentioned, the 8th play of the drive, they have covered 56 yards and used up just about 3 minutes. From the shotgun, Clark right over the middle, incomplete, and I'll tell you, that one almost defended by the umpire.
He was in a pretty good position there to make the play. Wally Rainier made the deflection and hit Angelo Harrison on the play, forcing this field goal attempt.
I mean, he bent down. The ball was right there, so it means that Graham is going to attempt a 26-yard field goal. He's 18 of 28 of the year. Spot is good. Line drive is good. Well, Graham is not happy with it. Aesthetically, it would be around a 4, but on the scoreboard, it's a 3. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. and by the Black & Decker cordless trim saw with VersaPack power. So Virginia Tech takes it right down the field. They missed the pass that they would like to have had on third down. They get 3. They would love to have had 7.
And one big play in that drive, Al Clark taking off for that quarterback scramble. And that's what you have to have in this ball game. Big plays to gash the other defense.
Jimmy Kibble to kick it off. That's a look at Antoine Womack, who is backbeat. For Kibble to kick off duties, he's handled them since 1996. Moves forward to the left footer, gets one high and into the wind. Take it at the 2-yard line, and this is Womack. Oh, he gets sent down hard with a chest-high tackle at the 17-yard line. Butler on the tackle as we look at the starters for Virginia. Brooks at quarterback. Thomas Jones and Anthony Southern behind him. The receivers, Hawkins and Wilkins. Casey Crawford is the tight end up front with the offensive line. Robson will get the start at left guard. We will see LaMontagne as well. John St. Clair is the veteran at center. 6'5", 295, and he's out of just up the road at Roanoke, Virginia. This crowd is going crazy. They want the defense to get it done now. Brooks zings it, has it complete at the 40, and that's Coffey. Kevin Coffey bumped out of bounds, but it's a gain of 31 on the play.
Corner routes, Ron. Both receivers. Kevin Coffey is going to run a post corner. And you see him work inside. Now he sets up the defensive back, breaks to the outside, wide open. Good play call on the first play by Sparky Woods. Trying to get this defense off him. And the crowd is reacting to this defense, so you've got to try to take this crowd out early.
Ike Charlton is the man that they picked on first down, and you could see he got turned around on the play. Counter play. Bounces it outside as Jones across midfield, and he is down in the vicinity of the 46. Keon Carpenter makes the tackle. And now pushing and shoving, and both teams come together. Look out now. The officials having to separate the teams in the middle of the field.
This is the best group in the ACC right here. So this is a well-officiated. This is going to be a well-officiated football game.
Robin Wood is the referee, and they took charge immediately. Now, beg your pardon. Let's do those defensive lineups real quickly. We were afraid they were going to have a tiff. Engelberger and Moore, the two guys on the outside, boy, they wreak havoc. Great pass rushers. The linebackers active, Ferguson Hawks and Jamel Smith. And in the secondary, Charlton Johnson, Prelo, and Keon Carpenter. Rolls the pocket. Brooks pats it, gets it complete, and he's got it to number 7, Terrence Wilkins. Wilkins hit immediately by Lauren Johnson. But another first down.
Yeah, and Terrence Wilkins, Ron, when you look at his statistics, Jermaine Crowell graduated, went into pro football. He's their leading receiver. When he came to Virginia as a running back. They had Tiki Barber. They moved him to wide receiver 2 years ago. 38 pass receptions for 670 yards, but only 1 touchdown.
Clock about to go under 10 minutes to play, opening quarter. Virginia Tech took it right down the field on their first possession. Now Virginia doing the same thing. They set up the middle screen, and they've got it at the 39 to Thomas Jones, and boy, he gets attacked and knocked out of bounds quickly by Keon Carpenter.
Well, this is the benefit, just like watching Virginia right now offensively. When you have a rival, you know everything about the rivalry. You know everything about the other team, what they do. But the open date week that Virginia had, they got a chance, Ron, to practice some different things, and you're seeing some different ideas that they're trying to run against this defense.
Also, he's off to a 3-for-3 start, 43 yards.
Big, and we haven't seen Thomas Jones. We saw him on 1 counter play yet.
Pressure, they get it out to Jones. Nice job of sidestepping the first oncoming attacker. The Nate Williams will make the stop, number 92.
Ron, what Aaron Brooks is going to have to do today in this ball game is not so much with his arm and running the football, but trying to figure out what Virginia Tech shows him defensively. You see the movement to a bear defense, 46 defense, where they cover the center and both guards. But really who he's looking at is Keon Carpenter. That's his read. The free safety will tell you a little bit about this defense, whether the blitz is coming or where he's lined up will tell you a lot about the coverage.
They're going to have to call a timeout. They have all kinds of confusion. So we'll take the break with it. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in this opening quarter. Virginia Tech 3 and Virginia threatening. 3-0 Virginia Tech, and we'll show you what happened just a moment ago at the end of the play. And again, it is typical of a state rivalry. Here's the tackle on Jones, and then there is a push and another push, and then all of a sudden everybody came back together, and the officials did a nice job of jumping in the middle of this and saying, gentlemen, we're not going to do this anymore, otherwise somebody's going to go sit down.
Football, not boxing. Anthony Poindexter, the All-American safety on the sideline, encouraging his football
He's been
team.
out there cheering them on since they came out to warm up, hasn't he?
Patting everybody on the back. I mean, he just misses being in this ball game. Virginia misses him.
3rd down and 4. You see those middle backers creeping up, and they just got a free first down. The running play by Jones, tackled for a loss, and now Frank Beamer's got to look up and see a 5-yard penalty moved off against his defense as Corey Moore got too anxious.
Yeah, and they're shaking their head that they weren't offside, but a good call on the offside penalty. Trying to time up Aaron Brooks' his cadence. What you do, Ron, is you try to send somebody around early in the pregame, and you try to get the cadence, and then once the game starts, your players come out, tell you what the cadence is, and so your players start to try to get in rhythm with the cadence.
Corey Moore has been applying good pressure on Brooks on every passing play today. So just anticipation at that time, not good anticipation, and it cost his team what could be a very big first down.
And Ron, you work all week. You got the cadence, and your scout team uses the same cadence all week in practice.
Jones hit at the backfield, and that's Ellenberg. Oh my goodness. As soon as he got the handoff, John was there, and the big junior out of Springfield put him down.
And he is an All-American football player.
2nd down, the corners move off this time, no bump. Brooks zings the pass. It is tipped and almost intercepted. Lauren Johnson got a hand on it, and then it was almost picked off by Prelo.
Ron, that's a combination route where you've got, it's a smash route. The inside receiver runs a corner, and the outside receiver runs a flat route. But you're going to watch Lauren Johnson here. Now, he's sitting right here playing this receiver, but he's going to drop back here to try to affect the corner route as soon as he sees Aaron Brooks throw that football.
So a huge 3rd down play, and we checked Braverman. His longest field goal on the year is 47 yards, and if they had to kick from here, it's exactly where it would be if they don't pick up anything on this one. Pressure is on. Brooks gets it away for the end zone, and overthrown and incomplete.
Ron, Aaron Brooks did a nice job here because he could have been sacked if he didn't have good awareness, because Pearson Prelo was coming from the backside. Here comes Prelo right here. Now he's going to hit Aaron Brooks in the back, but he has awareness that he's coming, throws the ball high down the end zone.
Well, as we mentioned, the career long for Braverman came against North Carolina, 47 yards, in the attempt that he is about to put down. Actually, they're going to put it down at the 38, so it would be longer, a career long for him if he hits this one. He has a little bit of a breeze behind him. Wide left, had the distance. Low pass to Kibble, still gets his kick away. This is a great high coverage kick. And in fact, it's going to hit in the end zone. Wilkins had no chance on that one. And there is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Offsides, Virginia. So, first
Big.
down at Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
and again, an error by Virginia. Fumble on a play where the back wasn't looking for it. A couple of penalties that have been extremely costly.
And George Welsh spent so much time on his special teams because he knew that would be the deciding factor in this football game. Put all his best players on the scout team that goes against his kicking teams because he wanted the speed raised, the level raised.
Well, right now the offense is not doing any favors for Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator in the Virginia Cavaliers. First down at the Cavalier 47. Clark. And he slides down wisely after a gain of a couple. Monsanto Pope, freshman out of Hopewell, Virginia, making the tackle.
Ron, Derek Carter, the tight end, because they caught him in too deep coverage, was running right down the middle of the football field. Right here, the tight end, he'll go down the middle of the football field against too deep coverage, and look how open he is. I mean, right here, he's wide open, but Al Clark can't find him.
Ferguson did a good job of allowing his quarterback to have a little more time. Stiff inside the 30-yard line. Actually going to say his knee touched at the 31, and it's a gain of 16 from scrimmage. And let's check in with Larry Beal.
All right, Ron, just want to pass along the word. It is official, the story you've heard about here on ESPN the past few days. Tommy Tuberville taking over as the head football coach at Auburn. 5 years at $900,000 a year. A ton of money, a ton of pressure. More at the half. Guys?
Pressure. When he looks at that schedule next year, he opens at the road to Tallahassee. It gets a lot easier after that. Stiff, not much there inside the 30 to the 29. Donnie Green will trip him up.
You and I have talked about this. You know, it's a unique situation when in league you make a coaching change, and I'm not so sure. Of course, obviously that goes without saying. It's done and done a lot, but players can't transfer within the conference without sitting out. Sometimes makes it tough on the team that loses in the conference. A coach, very difficult.
This time they roll the pocket. Clark, boy, just ran. He didn't see that defender kind of hiding behind the blocker, but Patrick Kearney was right there. Right over the middle. That is knocked away by Spruill.
What a nice job by Tim Spruill.
Clark was looking maybe for a flag because he did knock it down well with the right arm, but he thought his left arm was in the small of the back.
Tim Spruill didn't start the season, but was a backup, but really has come on, according to Rick Lance. Uses his right hand. No, it's good coverage. I like the coverage. I know you're looking.
That was interference. 50-yard attempt. High pass. Plenty of distance. Good heavens. Downtown, and it's good. His career long is 53, and we'll see if they say officially 50 or 51. So there's a timeout with 12:09 left until halftime, and our new score 20-7. 1 yard, no more. Womack is tackled by Chad Beasley as some of the second-team defensive players are getting an opportunity to give number ones a breather. And glad to say that number 96, John Engelberger, is back on the field.
Tough to run against this defense. You have to have good mix. You got to throw the ball, establish the pass, and get them so that they don't crowd you with 8 people.
Well, you see the numbers on John, and they certainly need him to go with his fellow bookend, Corey Moore. Pressure, and there's a guy we're talking about. Moore missed him once, and he'll get him the second time. Drills it, has it complete, and that's enough for the first down at the 38-yard line. And guess who? Terrence Wilkins. With that catch, he's going to be averaging over 20 yards a catch.
Ron, you almost, against Virginia Tech, you have to establish the pass game. That's really, you have to say to them, hey, you can't cover our wide receivers one-on-one. That's Anthony Midget against Terrence Wilkins. Until you get them off you, you're not going to run the football. You can forget about it. You have to have good mix, and you have to establish the pass first.
You know, if I were Anthony, I would have changed my name. No offense to his family. You gonna play football? Anthony Big Guy or Huge or something. Not Midget. Wide open over the middle. Oh my goodness, and Anthony Southern dropped the football. Obviously, linebacker coverage, somebody forgot or missed.
They caught him on it last year, and I was talking to Sparky Woods. He said we snuck the fullback out of the backfield on a play and caught him for a touchdown last year. They did the same thing this year, but this play just goes awry. Aaron Brooks has Anthony Southern nicknamed the bus, but the minibus couldn't hold on to the football.
8 of 12, 134 yards. The numbers on Brooks. And that completion or incompletion right there cost him a very easy touchdown. Brooks got a man, and he overthrew both of them. I say both. He was intending to pass for Hawkins, and he overthrew the defensive back as well.
Ron, he had this play, but he never got a chance to throw it because he had pressure from the backside. And the pressure really cost him finding that football. Ryan Smith, the defensive end, number 47.
Senior out of Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. This is the 11th play of the drive.
Somebody threw a football on the field.
Yeah.
Long as they're only throwing footballs. Where's it, the Cubs?
I think the kicker, and there may be was there a hole in that net over there? Everybody looked totally surprised on that one. Yeah, there is a hole. Okay. Thomas Jones back in the ball game at running back. Third down. Line to make is the 29. Brooks, good protection. Now it breaks down. Gonna run it, and he slips down at the 34. He was trying to put a move on Jamal Smith, and you could see very upset that he slipped down because I believe they're out of range, particularly into a slight breeze for field goal.
Ron, Lorenzo Ferguson again. We talked about him earlier. What all he's asked to do. Here he is in coverage, reading the quarterback Aaron Brooks and trying to get in position to make the play. But Jamal Smith made the play on him as he slipped.
Well, they're out of field goal range, but George Welch says we're down 20-7, 6:27 left until halftime, and I'm going for it.
And better figure that he's going to try to get the ball to Terrence Wilkins.
Right over the middle, Thomas Jones, and because of a good double team tackle, he won't have it. Jamal Smith, the first man to get there. So let's take a break as they stand and give a standing ovation for the defense. 20-7 Virginia Tech. (26-7) Virginia Tech leads it with 1:39 remaining until halftime. 7 drives, 5 scores, 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, 205 total yards for Virginia Tech. Kibble again will kick it off. And in fact, I'll tell you what, Mike, you watch Kibble on the kickoff. I want to see if they send somebody after him again and how he reacts. Womack is the deep man. Womack for the 3. And let's check in with Larry Beal.
All right, Ron, coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report, Lee and Kirk will join me. We'll check out the highlights of Georgia Tech and Georgia. Michigan State needing a win over Penn State to become bowl eligible, plus a preview of Miami versus Syracuse for the Big East title. That's coming up at the half.
Okay, Larry, we've got 1:32 remaining until halftime. Thomas Jones back in at tailback. Yards is what Jones has in the afternoon. Tries to break this one out, and they're going to wrap him up at the line of scrimmage. Carl Bradley. And again on first down, Virginia is just not allowed anything.
Ron, you talk about special teams. Watch Larry Austin here, number 24. Now, he runs and he'll fill a spot, but the reason he's doing that is because Virginia, when they set up for a kickoff return, they'll count, and everybody has a certain player to block. But all of a sudden, Virginia Tech, by moving Austin around, throws the count out.
And that's Kibble. They did have somebody out there to block on him, and he reacted a little better that time. Jones. 3 yards, maybe 4. Carl Bradley again, and look to see if Virginia Tech calls a timeout.
They're going to use a timeout here. They want to force them into a punting situation.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down, and they need to take it to the 27.5-yard line. And they stop the clock with 42 seconds left. So we'll take it with them. 42 seconds until halftime, and it's been all Hokies here in this first half.
Darman.
26-7 with 42 ticks left until halftime.
Well, Thomas Jones has had a tough first half run. 16 yards, averaging 124. He's caught 1 pass, I believe, in this ball game, and but they haven't been able to loosen up the Tech defense.
3rd down, and as we mentioned, the line to make is the 27.5-yard line. And his man there, did he come down in bounds? They say incomplete. Terrence Wilkins, the intended receiver, he caught it, but he was hit by Charlton.
Yeah, Ike Charlton with a little tougher coverage right there, forcing this punt. Aaron Brooks with a nice throw, just good coverage by Ike Charlton. Now you got to be concerned if you're Virginia about the punt blocking.
Keep an eye inside. Well, he rushed it. They didn't block it, but he almost kicked it straight up, and now it takes a huge Virginia Tech bounce. They're going to wind up with about 10 yards on the punt. 11, I beg your pardon. Good heavens.
Ron, the punt returner, Angelo Harrison, didn't go back. Now, he goes back to start the punt, but then he sneaks up on the outside and covers one of the wide players, George Welsh. And which allowed the rush for Virginia Tech.
Average field position, Virginia Tech, their own 48, and of course they're deep here, right over the middle, and that one is well overthrown, and there's a flag down. Offside against Virginia.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty, and we'll repeat, first down.
They're coming apart at the seams.
Boy, I could think of a lot of places I'd rather go than the locker room with George in 22 seconds.
Where?
Anywhere.
The Peach Bowl.
Maybe out here on the roof and take a little dangerous walk. Clark hit, spins away from one tackler. tries to get out of bounds and finally does. And that'll be enough for the first down as Travis Griffith gave him a shove, and they still got 13 seconds left. So they can take one shot at the end zone, maybe two, and then kick a field goal if they're not successful.
Ron Monsanto Pope, number 98, has him sacked. He just doesn't wrap up. You're going to see number 98 hit him right here. Just doesn't wrap him and take him to the ground.
Right over the middle, incomplete. Hall is the guy that they wanted. 9 ticks left. Crowd wanted a roughing the passer as Clark got thrown down after the pass was delivered. No movement by the special teams.
That was Monsanto Pope. He was going to make sure he took him down this time.
Now a timeout has been called by Virginia Tech. College basketball coming up next week on ESPN. The Grade 8 presented by EA Sports. Tuesday night's doubleheader. Connecticut and Washington and Kansas against Kentucky. Then a Wednesday at Utah and Rhode Island at Duke and Michigan State. Coverage beginning 7:30 Eastern each night from the United Center in Chicago. Nine seconds left until halftime.
And Virginia Tech still has one timeout, Ron, so they can still take one shot here trying to get in the end zone.
4 wide receiver set. Clark got it complete at the 8-yard line. I don't think it's enough for the first down to Andre Davis.
No, now they've got to kick the field goal.
So they're going to call what they have one timeout left, right?
They just used it. That's it. That's their last timeout.
So they use their final timeout of the first half. Stop it with 3 seconds left. Hokies leading 26-9. And we'll see if it is in fact Shane Graham that they send in to try to pick up 3 sure points, or if they try to really go for the juggler and make it a 33-7 halftime lead.
I think they'll take the points. He's kicked 2 field goals already.
Coming up on the National Car Rental halftime report, Larry Beal in the studio is going to be joined by Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit. And they'll catch you up on other games going on today, plus a look ahead at tonight's Notre Dame and SC game.
Boy, a tough spot for Bob Davie in Notre Dame tonight with the quarterback Jarius Jackson down.
And the way it happened also is.
Well,
25-yard attempt. He got it. 29-7 our scores. We begin the third period. The Hokies of Virginia Tech. And Mike, it has been special teams, it has been defense, and the 23rd interception of the year by this secondary. It's been awesome.
There are really a lot of mistakes by Virginia offensively. Made some mistakes defensively. Give up a couple big plays, and then the kicking game, the shank of the punt. All those things have attributed to where Virginia's at right now. But Virginia Tech's defense, Corey Moore with pressure on Aaron Brooks in his 13.5 sack. Lauren Johnson with the interception for the good field position. And here's the pressure they put on the punt and caused a very bad punt that set up the field goal for Virginia Tech just at the half.
So here are the numbers, and you can see that that's what defense and special teams have done, Mike, because actually the numbers are not overbearing by Tech.
No, and the average start, just like you had mentioned, Virginia, the 0-19, that's special teams right there. And again, the rushing yardage, only 29 yards rushing from Thomas Jones, but not enough good mix to keep this Virginia Tech defense off guard. But again, the mistakes, I think, would set George Welsh off.
George Welsh said, look, all of you, forget about the Peach Bowl. You better start playing like this is your rival. Stop making mistakes. If you're supposed to field a punt, catch the ball. If you're coming out of the backfield, catch the ball. If you're supposed to protect your quarterback, do so. Forget about what you guys coming up after the season, because if you lose this game, you're going to hear about it for 365 days.
Well, and I bet he said it just that way, too, didn't he, Adrian? Well, good blocking on this first down, and that is one of the longest gainers they've had on first down. By the way, I said a moment ago, 23 interceptions by the secondary, actually by the entire team, not just the secondary. Jones again, big opening, and there is a first down on back-to-back running plays. So a timeout called by Virginia. We'll take it with them. 13:52 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back. ESPN's presentation of college football is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. And by America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Virginia Tech leading soundly here in the early going of the third quarter. Time is back in, and let's see what Virginia has up their sleeve on this first down. Pass is complete. Flag was thrown immediately on the slip screen. Terrence Wilkins, and that's the shortest catch and run that he's had today.
Making the stop.
That's going to be offside against Virginia Tech.
Good call, Ron. Here's the thing I like about this Virginia Tech defense. Watch them once the ball's thrown out there. Watch the shirts of Virginia Tech, how they get to the football. That's what you want out of a defensive football team. Pursuit. Run to the football. You have pursuit drills that you start practice, in practice with. Bud Foster has to be proud of that.
First down at 5, and the running play by Jones. Going to be the longest run of the afternoon by him. Now that, as I said, was the longest run of the day by Virginia just now. 9 yards officially on the carry by Jones, and they move the sticks again as they have it now at the 46. That time Nate Williams was the guy who was in hot pursuit. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
On the near sideline behind Virginia Tech, Lauren Johnson, the individual, had that interception earlier in the game. Taking a look at his left and right knee, not just one or the other. Whether it's true or not, Ron, Lauren's been complaining to the officials throughout the game that the Virginia offensive men, the wide receivers, have been going after his knees. As I say, don't know if it's true or not, but at least it's the point where he's had to at least take a seat on the sideline.
Well, that was Lauren that got blocked on that slip screen just a moment ago, and he got chopped on that one. Brooks, flag comes down. That's going to be offensive holding. They get the completed pass to the tight end, Casey Crawford, but you can bring it back as the umpire tossed the flag right into the heap of offensive linemen.
And Ron, it is really going to be a lot of penalty yards here. Chad Beasley, number 94, backup tackle, is being held. This is such an important drive for Virginia. Here's where they're going to call the hold right here. Fatty Shimon.
Shimon, a senior out of Youngstown, Ohio. And a penalty now has pushed it back to the 32. Second down at about 24. Brooks Gets that one complete at the 40. And then the receiver, Coffey, is pushed back. Making a giving forward progress to around the 38-yard line.
Ron, I talked earlier about Lorenzo Ferguson, number 6. Of all the places he lines up, he can be an outside linebacker. He's 200 pounds. He has to be able to run. Then all of a sudden he has to line up on a tackle, 290-pound tackle, to take advantage of that. Then you move him out to wide receiver. He's got to show great feet on the outside and bump and run. He can be in a half coverage, and he can be the free safety in the middle of the football field. A big job description for Lorenzo Ferguson.
3 of 7 on third down conversions. Brooks has pressure on him, and there's Wilkins. Deep across the middle, not only has the first down, add 15 yards, and it's going to be a gain of 32 on the play. 7 catches, 141 yards for Wilkins. Jones tries to bounce it to the outside, and he will go inside the 30 as Michael Hawks puts the stop on him.
Talked about his brother Julius. He's playing today in a high school game, recruited by everybody in America.
It was consensus of opinion that Mom and the sisters would go watch Julius play at his high school game, and that Dad was coming here to see this one. They talked about splitting time, and then they said no, that wouldn't be right to either kid. 8th play of the drive by Virginia. Hawkins is who he wanted, and he was down on the turf, as was Brooks after he threw the ball.
A good pressure. Carl Bradley, 77. John Engelberger, 96. All met at the quarterback. And this is a good offensive line for Virginia. One of the better offensive lines I've seen in college football this year.
So it's third down. They need to take it to the 21 to keep the drive going. Dropped by Thomas Jones, and there was a flag down, and Corey Moore again with pressure.
Offside again. Well, not sure which way he pointed here.
Offside on the defense.
Okay, pointed the other way now.
5-yard penalty, keeps it down.
Well officiated game. This has been a good group.
So they get another shot at third down. (29-7). Hokies leading. Just over 10 minutes to play, third quarter. Wilkins brought him back into traffic, and Keon Carpenter came up and tattooed him.
Well, that was well defended because they had Thomas Jones flaring out of the backfield and then had the underneath route. Both of them were covered for Aaron Brooks. Here comes Thomas Jones outside trying to draw the outside receiver coming inside. And he's there, but just threw the ball behind him. Virginia's got to go for this.
Fourth down from the 25. There he is at the 10, at the 5, touchdown Kevin Coffey. 25-yard touchdown strike.
Pressure from the outside, Ron. No free safety in the middle of the field. The post route thrown against Ike Charlton by Kevin Coffey on the reception. Well thrown ball by Aaron Brooks. Blitz is going to come right up here. There's the post, no free safety. Coffey catches the football in the end zone. Free safety man coverage, Keon Carpenter. Coffey a good target, 6'2", 197. Big drive for Virginia. Gets them back in this football game.
Betty Shimon, it would appear, is the injured Virginia player who is down.
Their offensive line has been injured. Noel LaMontagne had a sprained ankle, missed Wake Forest and Florida State games, and he's back. Anthony Poindexter, big loss.
Shimon, well, he had a teammate roll up on his ankle. Sorry. Anytime that happens when an offensive lineman is laid out on somebody and he gets his leg rolled up on, see a lot of injuries that way. So let's take a timeout. 29-13 Virginia Tech. Right back. So 29-13 Virginia Tech is leading, and they continue to work on Shimon. They have brought a vehicle out on the field to take him to the locker room, or at least to an X-ray facility. And while we have a second, Larry Beal, what do you have for us?
All right, Ron. Well, we'll update you on Penn State and Michigan State. Nittany Lions in command. It's Eric McCoo up the middle on a 5-yard touchdown run, as Penn State has now opened it up 28-14. That game over on ABC. Georgia and Georgia Tech. Dogs have just scored 19-7 in the third quarter with 4:23 to go. North Carolina and NC State. And the Tar Heels up 17-3. NC State already has a bowl bid locked up. North Carolina trying to go 6-5. Later on tonight, over on the Deuce, the Michigan Wolverines facing the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. That's 9:30 Eastern Time.
Okay, thanks, Larry. They continue to work on Shimon. You can see the air cast on his leg as his teammates applaud his efforts. He's being loaded on the cart.
Talk the bowl picture, Ron. Virginia already accepting the Peach Bowl. Virginia Tech really is unknown where they're going to go. Talking to Jim Weaver up here, the athletic director, and he's got some ideas where they're going to go, but of course a lot of things with Notre Dame's involvement deciding where the Big East teams are slotted. NC State going to the Micron PC Bowl. Georgia Tech, Gator.
It will be interesting to see exactly where Virginia Tech winds up, because this one we got a lot of football left to play, but they have been extremely impressive so far. The interesting thing is Shimon is taken off the field and to the X-ray facility here at the stadium. The interesting thing is the Hokies have played some very good football, and then they have had occasions because of the injury to Clark, and they've had to do some substituting as far as their offense is concerned. They also have had some mystery games, Mike, that they
really have
disappeared in and should not have.
The Temple win here was a big win for Temple, and of course Syracuse beating Virginia Tech.
This is the extra point from that touchdown. It was scored just probably about 15 minutes ago, and Shimon went down with the injury, and because he wanted to be extremely careful with him and get his leg in the air cast. So the extra point is good, and that puts a period on that drive. It was a 4th down play, 4th down, and they score in a 25-yard touchdown pass. So the new score is Virginia Tech 29 and UVA 14.
Well, Kevin Coffey got away in post with a post pattern. Aaron Brooks looking off, and then he comes back to the post. Man-to-man coverage. Ike Charlton beaten. Good job by the offensive line, giving Aaron Brooks time to throw. Now Virginia turns it over to their defense.
Adrian, let's check with you on the injury on the sideline. I know we saw you there just a moment ago.
Yes, sir. Considering the way the injury happened, Ron, rather interesting, unique. They suspect a fractured kneecap, but they don't want to pull the knee pad back or pull the pants up in order to make it any worse. But they said so far out on the field, they say no ligament damage. So that's the good news. They are going to obviously take x-rays, and I'll get you an update on what is a possible fractured kneecap at this point to finish it off.
Okay, thanks very much, Adrian. Green will kick it off. And Stith is the guy who is back in the deep receiving position at the goal line. He'll get an opportunity to return this one from the 5. Well, that's good coverage by the special teams of Virginia as they deny him the 20, and it's John Duckett, the linebacker. Primetime college football tonight on ABC. Autry Denson and the 10th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish are out at the LA Coliseum to take on the USC Trojans. Covers begin 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten coming to you from Blacksburg, Virginia. We're in the second half. We have 9:56 left, third quarter. Piggy is the ball carrier out over the 20 to around the 22.
And now, Ron, Virginia defense, the offense answered what they needed to do. They took the first drive down the field, scored. Now the defense got to get the ball back for them to get them even closer to the Virginia Tech team.
Keith Short, the junior out of Glen Allen, Virginia, comes out over the football. Clark, no place to go, and he's going to be sacked, and that's Rayner, Wally Rayner. 2 times that they've gotten to Clark this afternoon.
And they tried to quick screen. Tim Sproul really played it well, number 21. He got inside the blocker and comes back, and I think maybe Clark, and plus he had problems throwing over Patrick Kearney, 6'6", 265 pounds.
Yeah, Kearney did do a good job. He was way up there. So now third down, and they need to take it out to the 29-yard line or kick it back to Virginia. Got it away, and it's complete. That's Piggy's, and a nice defensive play by Tim Sproul.
And all of a sudden, you can see Virginia playing with a little more confidence. Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, with a good drive, good adjustments coming out here in the second half. Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, good adjustments. So a good first series by Virginia's offense and defense. Now if they can get good field position on the special teams, they'll be in business.
Maybe that's singeing at halftime that George gave them, as this ball is going to be blocked and tackled as they could not get the kick away.
And if you look at the bench area, Ron, Virginia's bench area, they're all fired up, but that's what you want to do to a team that's noted for special teams. You want to turn the tables on them. And that might go back to what Adrian Karsten said early in the ball game, that George Wells spent so much time on the kicking game. Now it paid off. Even though it's a snap, it's dropped, you still make the effort, and you turn the ball over to an 11-yard line or 6-yard line to your offensive football team.
Kibble is who was shaken up on the play, and it's Burnham who is coming in to make the tackle on him. So let's see if Virginia can capitalize, just as Virginia Tech did in a similar situation on a turnover by the Cavaliers back in the first half. Thomas Jones runs it to the short side of the field, to the 2, down to the 1, and very close to getting it in for the touchdown.
Ron, you're close enough now with Aaron Brooks' size of 6'4", 202 to just quarterback sneaking in from here.
Mike. I'm not second guessing George Welch, but I thought they should have gone for 2 after the last touchdown. They're going to wind up having 2, aren't they?
Yeah, we talked about it, and I thought they should have gone for 2 in the last touchdown also. But maybe the long delay, he wanted to kick it.
The ball is snapped in the air and is picked off by Moore. Corey Moore. As the ball went right through Aaron Brooks' hands.
Unbelievable.
You have seen mishandled snaps in a lot of different ways, but watch this one. It's like he snapped it away from his hands.
I'm not sure he even had his hands set underneath there. Well, that ball comes out so funny.
Moore now has 5 tackles, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery.
And that fumble recovery is the biggest one.
Looked like they were jumping center. Stiff cuts in behind his blocker. He'll take it out to the 6. And Larry Beal, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Ron, updating Michigan State and Penn State. The Nittany Lions have had problems on offense. Scoring points all season long has been trouble for them, but not today. Busting loose, Mike Saramelli. And it's now 35-14, Penn State over Michigan State.
Well, Michigan State may have to go to the bowling alley for bowling.
I'd see Penn State in one of either the Alamo or in the Outback, might we not?
Right.
Stiff, nice, hard run. Wow. Twisting, turning, and that good second effort is going to have the Hokies a first down at the 15-yard line.
Stiff averages 57.5 yards rushing per game, but he looks like the harder running back where he can grind it out inside the tackles.
But we saw back in the first half that also if you give him a little seam, he went 51 yards for a touchdown in the first half.
Another nice block by Jared Ferguson, fullback.
Stiff into the secondary. And the difference, and you talked about it back in the first half, first down plays have been huge for Virginia Tech.
Well, they really have, and I'm going to go back again, Ron. Jared Ferguson, the fullback. I mean, he's lighting up Wally Rayner right here. If you watch number 27, there's the block right inside there, and it allows Stiff to get through.
Hit him so hard it knocked your mark off.
Oh, it did.
Ferguson, this time they want him to carry it, and the big guy says, yeah, they toss me a bone every once in a while, and then he picks up the first down for Virginia Tech. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Little tricks, little idiosyncrasies that some quarterbacks and centers have between them. On a pass play, like Aaron Brooks called in the huddle, he expects his center to roll back onto his heels, onto the center's heels, as he snaps the ball. That helps Brooks. It also helps the center go into pass protection. The center thought it was a run play. He didn't roll back. Brooks pulled out too soon. The ball went in the air.
I'll tell you what, that's as errant as I've ever seen. I see it go to the ground and get kicked around, but to go straight up like that is really unusual. Stiff to the 33. Donnie Green puts the tackle on him, and we go under 5 minutes left in the third.
This is the Jarrett Ferguson show right now. Now, Stiff may be carrying the football, but the dirty work is Jarrett Ferguson. He has to block Wally Rayner on all these isolation plays, so he's got to meet the linebacker, and he is really having a big ball game. Not big for a fullback, 5'9", 196.
Stiff 100 yards on the afternoon, 10 carries for 100. Pretty doggone good average. Gets the pitch. There's the lead block. Turns the corner. Thweet makes the tackle and finally slows him down. And that means that Pegues is going to come back into the lineup, and listen to the hand that Stiff is going to get as he comes to the sideline. Boy, they are standing and cheering down below.
Boy, he's had a big day in this ball game. Had the long run earlier. It just continues to change field position for Virginia Tech.
Pegues. Burnham comes up and makes the hit on him.
Ron, Wally Rayner is an All-American linebacker, but he's had his hands full with Ferguson. Ferguson is just doing such a good job on the middle linebacker that it's opening up this running game. There you're going to see him again, blocking number 44. Gives him a good little block there, and that opens up the hole for Pegues. You talk about a quarter of blocks here out of Ferguson.
Nothing doing this time because nobody hit Darrell Sanders, the freshman out of Callaway, Maryland. And he turns that one sour. No place for Pegues to go.
Well, you get your heart broken when you get down inside the 1 yard line and then you get the fumble and your defense has to come right back on the field and sudden change and stop them. And so far Virginia Tech has moved and changed that field position we talked about in favor of themselves.
Now they're going to have to put it up, though, Mike. It is third down, and they need about just over 10 yards to get this first down. This is the 9th play of the drive. It started back at the 1. Intercepted. That's Thweet. And Thweet with a sweet 6. Michael, what's just happened is the defense says, hey, offense, if you can't get into the end zone, we're going to do it.
Well, Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, you preach sudden change.
Guess who applied the pressure on the quarterback? It was Rayner, who was all over Clark, forcing him to throw. But quite frankly, Clark had his tight end open. He stared him down.
Yeah, he waited too long, Ron. He was open quickly, but as the later he waited to throw the football, that became a mistake.
Well, they got a piece of it, but it was good. So it gives us an opportunity to catch our breath. And a brand new one in this slugfest. 29-21 in the Hokies. 2:33 left in the third quarter. Well, 29-21. Mike, look at this reaction. Lauren Johnson. Watch. Here's the interception.
Here's the interception. Just too long of the throw from Al Clark. He waited too long to try to hit Bob Slukowski and paid for it with a touchdown interception.
Lauren Johnson was headed to the locker room because of the injuries to his knees, and he just stops and put his hand on his forehead.
Now his head hurts.
So David Green's going to kick it off. Stith is the man who's back deep, and now it's an 8-point ball game. Stith from the 5. Came within about one person of breaking that one. More college football coming up later today on ESPN2. It's the second-ranked Tennessee Volunteers taking on cross-state rival Vanderbilt at 3:30. Then in the evening, Michigan is out in Honolulu to meet Hawaii, 9:30 Eastern. Both games on the Deuce.
Ron, I believe I'd come right out here and throw on first down. A little quick hitch. Get Al Clark back in this ball game.
Housewright has come in at fullback, number 41. 11 of 16 with the one interception by Clark, and they take it straight ahead with a running play to Stith. It's Antonio Dingle who has a hold of him.
Rick Lance believes about Antonio Dingo that he can be a first-round draft choice. Had a big ball game in that Thursday game we had right off the bat against Auburn. 6'3", 305 pounds with good movement.
The one thing he also worried about in this ball game was the very athletic and taller wide receivers by Virginia Tech. Much akin to a situation like at Florida State, where sometimes you can throw the ball and just let them go get it.
Throw it up, jump ball.
Clark got it complete. Wow. What a hit by Dwayne Stukes on Ken Handy. And that's not going to be nearly enough for the first down. So now Virginia Tech playing uphill a little more as far as not picking up big yardage on first down.
And you start playing a little tighter now. And that's why when you're calling plays, you can't get into a situation where you allow your offensive team to wrap up a little bit, play too tight.
So it's third down. Line to make is about a half yard beyond the 40. And they just got it. Antonio Dingle. That is 3 times today that Virginia has given a first down to Virginia Tech because of an offside.
Offsides on the defense. 5 yards on the first down.
Ron, that's just not
not
focusing, not thinking. The ball's not moving, and you just get a little tired every now and then.
And particularly the guy right off the
center. He's right on
the
ball. I mean, there's no excuse. And all you do is keep your defensive team back on the field for 3 more plays until you can stop them.
Got it away, got a man wide open, and he overthrew him. And Clark never saw it because he was just obliterated by Wally Rayner.
And it's a good thing Wally Rayner was in on the blitz because he had an open receiver running down the sideline, Ricky Hall, who was 6'3", like you talked about, the taller wide receivers. If Al Clark gets time to sit here and throw, but Wally Rayner's right in his face. Whew. A big play by the middle linebacker, the All-American middle linebacker.
35 seconds left in this third quarter. Second down and 10. On the shotgun, they go with the running play. Here's Stitt. Turns the corner. Did he get the first down? I don't know from where they have spotted this. I don't think so. Angelo Harrison was out there blocking for him.
And he had a good block, Ron. Angelo Harrison with a good block. Number 33, Donnie Green, tried to run down the play. And offsides, I'll tell you, you just never know when a play is going to be the play. It's going to hurt you, and you just don't hurt yourself.
Well, the coach walked out there. He wanted a closer look. We wanted a closer look, and as I thought, it's just a little bit short.
Nice waist down right here if you want to take a. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah,
you're going to pick the first down up. They haven't changed the marker over there yet.
Mm-hmm. Career high for Stitt, 126 yards over the season, averaging just under 58 a game. Pegues is the man at the top of the eye right now, though. And he gets the handoff, and he'll have the first down.
Not a lot of movement, but just enough.
Just enough. Didn't need a great deal. So Virginia Tech with a player injured. Still 24 seconds left in the third quarter. And it appears to be Derek Smith, the left tackle. Okay, that's a great gesture to a young man that obviously they think a tremendous amount of. Now they're not going to have to run the play because that is the end of the third quarter. So let's take a timeout as we head to the final 15. It is the Hokies 29 and UVA 21. Well, Hokie Thanksgiving leftovers, burnt wahoo. 29-21, an 8-point game with this final quarter coming up in the situation. It is a first down for Virginia Tech. at the Cavaliers 46. Clark, good protection. Now it breaks down. Going to go on top. And a flag will come down. And that is a nice job by Andre Davis to get the defensive back on his hip.
Yeah, Antoine Harris was beat. Looked back, couldn't find the football, interfered. And of course, the college rule helps Antoine Harris here because it's from the line of the scrimmage. Al Clark just hanging one up. The interference by Antoine Harris, and you're right, good job by.
See what he slows down. He puts it on his hip.
Yep.
And that's.
Let him run over him.
Yep. So the penalty will push it to the 31.
And that's what Rick Lance was concerned about. The size of the wide receivers, and they like to throw the ball downfield, and he's concerned about the little bit of a mismatch. And he told us he's going to be in a little bit more 3-deep zone because of that.
Pegues bounces it outside and steps out of bounds at the 20.
Ron, I just can't say enough about Jarrett Ferguson. He's blocking on a guy that makes a lot of tackles. Matter of fact, Wally Rayner had 20 tackles against Florida State. Watch the fullback right in here now. There he is, taking Rayner to the ground, and that forces the ball outside. Derek Carter with a nice block, and that's how you run the football successfully, when you've got those kind of blocks.
Cadella, number 76, also got his man hooked and kept him from pursuing outside. They give it to the fullback, and there's a flag. Ferguson's going to have the first down, but thrown immediately, and somebody grabbed on the offensive line. That'll come back for holding.
You talk about having a game. Oh, I know this is going to come back, but when they look at this tape, when Virginia looks at this tape, Jarrett Ferguson, the redshirt freshman fullback's going to catch a lot of their attention, and Frank Beamer's going to be happy with the play of this guy. Billy Height, the running back coach, done a nice job with Jarrett Ferguson. And this, when you look at this Virginia Tech team, this is a young football team. And they lose the 3 defensive backs in the secondary. Everybody else is back. And offensively, I mean, they've got most of their offense back.
First down at about 18. Pegues, and he'll take it to the 24. Wally Rayner has just recorded his 10th tackle, so he's in double figures on the afternoon.
He had 20 tackles against Florida State.
Well, it's a good game, but it also says the defense played way too much.
Against Florida State, you're on the field a lot when you're playing defense.
Hey, SRO, standing room only at this one. Stiff comes back in the ball game as they go shotgun. Clark is going to be sacked, and that's Travis Griffin. Third time they've gotten to him.
Ron, there was an interesting defensive adjustment by Virginia on that play. And Frank Beamer's coaches up here in the press box may want to see this, but this is 34, a linebacker versus a wide receiver on the outside. That's John Duckett. So you kind of like that a little bit if Al Clark had a little bit more time. We'll see if they do the same thing here again. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to bump Duckett outside on a wide receiver. Ken Handy.
Clark going to try to run, and he's hit again by Griffin. That's coming from all the way on the other side. That is a nice hustle by Travis.
Ron, I think they were trying to get the ball to Handy again against Duckett, the linebacker, because of the adjustment. Now here's a linebacker against a wide receiver, and Handy runs by Duckett, but Duckett's in pretty good shape, but Al Clark can't get the football off.
Well, he's back there with more than he can say grace over.
The best pass defense is take the quarterback down.
46-yard attempt by Graham. Thunderfoot's another one. Cannon sounds, and with 12-12 left in the ball game, our new score is Virginia Tech 32 and Virginia 21. Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Fargo.
Clark has to wait and just throws this one away very wisely. You could see the defensive player. Virginia's done a good job of that, at jumping up in front of him.
Well, they wanted to throw the quick hitch, but Antoine Harris came up and collided with Ricky Hall and wouldn't let him take off. And wisely, Al Clark just threw it away. Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, trying to find a way to get a turnover here. Get the football back to his offense.
His defense accounted for a touchdown in the third quarter. Clark drills it, and I'll tell you, that one was very close to being picked off by John Duckett.
He had his eyes on that pass all the way. Ken Handy was the intended receiver. John Duckett sitting all over this route, Ron. He was just waiting for this football to be thrown. Breaks on it and almost gets an interception.
He did. But that's one of those things, you could see Clark's eyes. He locked in as well and didn't change it. So it was a good gamble. Third down. They need to take it out to the 42-yard line to keep this one going. Clark is going to be sacked, and it's Rayner again. Also give a partial to Maurice Anderson, but that's 4 times that they've gotten to him today.
And the defense again, Rick Lance's troops do just exactly what they need to do. Go out there and stop Virginia Tech, get the football back in decent field position for Aaron Brooks.
Kibble, the left footer, waiting for the snap. They got the pressure on this one, and he gets it away. Not a great kick, but he got it away. That's probably the most important thing. Out of bounds at the 42. 11-point lead by Virginia Tech.
We're on a tough day for Jimmy Kibble, the punter for Virginia Tech. Here's the last play. He had those problems in the first half. Wally Legby gives him a little push, and he says to the referees, hey, they can't do that to me.
As he said, my coaches told me I couldn't react. This is Kibble back in the early going of the game. He's
they're still trying to bait him. There's Frank Beamer giving him a little lecture. Who said kickers don't get hit?
They have baited him, though. You're right. I think they know that he has a temper. Draw play. Jones going to be ridden down by Ryan Smith. Larry Beal, what do you have for us?
Ron, Michigan State needing a win over Penn State to secure a bowl berth. Trouble. Bill Burke picked off by Anthony King. 3 guys there. Second interception. Then the Lions have returned for a touchdown. Oh, it's good to be the King. 42-14. Tight one. Georgia Tech just kicked a field goal, now trailing Georgia 19-18 late fourth quarter.
Georgia O'Leary's ball club staying tough.
Remember that finish they had last year.
Yeah, that's right. Gonna keep it, and will take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line before Jamal Smith finally put the stopper on Aaron Brooks.
Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, pulling out every trick he can find in his arsenal to run an option off of the shotgun attack. Thomas Jones was a trail back, but Aaron Brooks kept it and gets close to the first down. This defense will try your play calling ability.
So they measured. It's not even close, but
it's a long way to the sideline.
Yeah, they checked it out there. Sparky looking them over. Hard to tell if, when Sparky's ahead by 20 or down by 20, isn't it?
Well, right now he's
well, but he looks the same way.
Yeah, he's
Michael,
down by 11. He's trying to figure out how to get this half yard. He knows he's had to figure a way to get his offense in 2 more times.
They not only got it, they came close to breaking Jones loose on a big play. Lorenzo Ferguson.
Well, we talked about Lorenzo Ferguson, all the different places that he lines up, and such a valuable member of this defense. His job description, we talked about it. He could be on a tackle, a tight end. He's a linebacker. He could be out on a wide receiver. He can be in a half zone. He can be in the middle safety. He's just all over the field.
Good protection. Got him over the middle. It's complete. Inside the 20-yard line is Kevin Coffey. 14 of 26, 237 yards, and the 1 interception by Brooks today. He caught it. Touchdown, Thomas Jones.
Remember the play when Anthony Southern missed the football, or it was all overthrown, and I said there's special plays you have. This is one of those plays because Sparky Woods put a running back, Thomas Jones, against a linebacker, Michael Hawks. And that's the one where you know there's going to be man coverage, and you line it up so that the linebacker's going to have to cover your back out of the backfield. And Sparky Woods, 1 for 2 on his plays he designed against this Virginia Tech defense. Should have been 2 for 2.
I started to say I have a feeling that George also was thinking, without that fumble, this should be for go-ahead here. They go for 2 points. They'll run the quarterback, and Brooks has got it. It is a 3-point ball game with 7:02 to play. So there's a timeout. We'll take it with them. 32-29. Virginia stalking the Hokies. Now they're a little bit excited over there on that Virginia bench, and you can understand why. Thomas Jones caught the touchdown pass. They went for 2.
Ron, here's the design of the play. I'm just going to show both wide receivers are going to come down inside. Then watch the tailback and the middle linebacker, Hawks against Thomas Jones. Now he's got to run with him on the sideline. This is a well-designed play by Sparky Woods and a very good throw by Aaron Brooks, where you put a linebacker against a running back. And Thomas Jones, we talked about it. He came in leading the ACC with 24 receptions, the most of any running back in the ACC. And they told me he could be their best wide receiver. He's got that good of hands.
Well, he's a great athlete. You could tell by that leap for the catch just now. Stith about 7 yards deep in the end zone, will not try to bring it out. David Green does his work. So Al Clark and company come on with 6:56 left in the ball game. 8 of 9, 95 yards the first quarter, and since then Al Clark 4 of 11 for 22 and 1 interception.
Well, he needs a drive right here.
You get out of it, he might have broke that thing all the way.
Nice game plan by both these staffs coming into this football game. A lot of thought put into the play calling, the defensive calls, just both teams matching each other.
This is Pegues, goes for 3. Byron Thweet making the tackle for Virginia.
And he lit up, Byron Thweet lit up Jared Ferguson on that play. Now, Jared Ferguson's had his way, but he got sent the other way on that play.
McGee is shaken up on the play, and that means that Stith, number 38, will come in a tailback. They met at the quarterback, and Thweet was there to make the big play. Another for him.
Well, his name's tough to say with Thweet, but I tell you, he's coming on here in the second half, and he has had some big plays. And they have decided in this drive to just blitz Al Clark every play. And now all of a sudden the momentum is all with Virginia. Al Clark needs a play here.
That is the 10th tackle for Thweet. And he has a touchdown.
Big ball game.
Clark going long. And he caught it. Ricky Hall as the defensive back fell down. 55 yards.
Ron, you almost figured that was going to be the play because Al Clark just wound it up and threw the ball to Ricky Hall, the 6'3" wide receiver. And Ricky Hall gets in good position against Dwayne Stukes and makes this catch.
Defensive back fell down, as you could see. Now, also give credit to that offensive front of the Hokies because they allowed their quarterback to have just a world of time back there.
You talk about a big play. Al Clark came up with one.
Hall 5 catches, 107 yards. This hit in the backfield, and it's Elegbe coming up from that strong safety position to make the tackle.
But again, it was Byron Thweet who came in, made the hit on Jared Ferguson, and now all of a sudden they're turning around those blocks of the fullback and they're getting penetration. Virginia has 2 timeouts left. Virginia Tech has all 3 of theirs left.
Letting that play clock run down as far as they can. It's down to 3, down to 2. It's a draw play, and they waited way too long on that one. Green comes over and hits Stith.
Yeah, Donnie Green just read the draw from the time the ball was snapped with penetration in the blitz.
That wasn't just a draw. That was a draw.
Yeah, slow draw.
I mean, it was really slow.
Southern draw. Donnie Green
good,
with
Mike.
a big hit.
Southern draw.
Every now and then.
3:45 left in the ball game. Hokies by 3, 32-29. Right now it's 3rd down, and they need to take it down to the 20-yard line.
That could have been grounding there. Now Clark under tremendous pressure again.
Dingle and Kearney are the guys who were coming after him. I guess they figured he had a guy close enough.
Kearney,
you know what,
really. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, please.
I was just going to make the point. We talk about this in different conferences, things that are exaggerated some and that are not by officials. I know one conference this would have been called grounding in. And in other conferences, they're more liberal on the grounding rules because he had somebody in the area. Very high kick.
Well, this is a good job by Virginia Tech.
Oh, my goodness. They downed it at the 5-yard line. They're going to say at the 7. But now you see why we talk about number 95. They had to make sure that they got Kibble to stay in the ballgame.
And Ron, that's Shane Beamer who made that play on that, the coach's son.
He's the long snapper.
He's the long snapper, and you can't hit the long snapper, so he gets a free release down the field. And he's down there to down the football. So his son, the dad's going to be very proud of him tonight. Not only for being a good son, but makes a good play. The junior, long snapper, Shane Beamer.
That is a good stick on the play by number 9, Anthony Midget. Terrence Wilkins was the intended receiver.
Ron, here's the big play by Shane Beamer. Now again, the new rule where you can't touch the center. He snaps the football. Now he gets a free release. He gets a little pinball there, but not hit very hard. And then Shane Beamer alertly downs the football. And that's a good, smart play by the coach's son.
I'll tell you what, it really stuck him down deep. Got it, the tight end, and that's Crawford. And he'll get out of bounds at the 16. If not enough for the first down, he'll need a couple. Larry Beal, what do you have for us?
Well, you guys have a tight finish shaping up there. How about Georgia? Georgia Tech, Brad Chambers 35 yards out for the go-ahead field goal. Yellow Jackets lost heartbreakers to Georgia the past 2 years. They lead 21-19, 2 seconds left.
Hey, what, George O'Leary, the old Irishman's had some good Irish luck this year. Well-coached football team, actually. Jones, and he will have the first down as he'll take it out to the 19-yard line. Lorenzo Ferguson comes over to make the tackle, and now that clock becomes really big for the Cavaliers. It's at 3:04. And they just whistled it back in. So when they snap the ball, it's going to be somewhere around 2:45 or 2:40 left in the ball game. And they are still 80.5 yards away.
And all they need is a field goal to force this game into an extra period.
Got it. Crawford. You talk about a tough catch, looking right back into the sun. He skies and makes it 23 yards.
Boy, Aaron Brooks again. I'll tell you what, he is making some throws in this fourth quarter. Well, fake to Thomas Jones. Steps up because all the pressure gets squared up and then hits Kevin Coffey. And you're right, Ron, looking back into the sun.
That's difficult. You can see those long shadows. He's looking right into it. Gathered it in. The ball now with the 43. Coffey has 5 catches. 111 yards. Got it away while they were sacking him. And they're gonna, did he catch it? They're coming to mark it.
No, one official said no. Now they're going to talk about it. Casey Crawford, who's an outstanding tight end.
They're going to give it to him.
Casey Crawford, an outstanding tight end. He was recruited by North Carolina, Ohio State, Boston College, was offered baseball money, top 10 money by the Atlanta Braves. You can see the umpire right here. He's signaling no good. It looked like he got his hands underneath it. But again, a good job by the officials talking it over.
Clock running, 2:22, now 2:21. Clark paces on the sideline. They're still a distance from where they need to go to be in field goal range. And with this, they're not going to need it. He is going to walk in for the touchdown, Ahmad Hawkins. Well, Frank Beamer has to be saying my heart won't take it anymore. He has had more late game heroics by opposing teams than anybody this year, Mike. This one's not over, but they don't have a lot of time to work with.
No, Anthony Midget went for the interception. It looked like and Ahmad Hawkins made the catch, and there was nobody else out there to help.
Extra point is up, and it's good. And if you want to give credit to somebody, how about Sparky Woods in the offense?
Oh.
A 93-yard drive in 1 minute and 20 seconds. There's a break. 2:01 to play. Virginia on top. If you went away for a while, Virginia was just down horribly, and they were playing horribly in the first half, and they have awakened in the second half.
Well, Aaron Brooks hits Ahmad Hawkins. Anthony Midget just gets caught up inside, and the rest is the touchdown. But Ron, you mentioned it. Give Sparky Woods credit.
That's a great drive.
I mean, it's a great drive to take it 95 yards.
By the way, Virginia Tech led this game 29-7 at halftime. So they've scored 3 in the second half, and I mean the UVA club has really come on. David Green again does his job.
And the special teams of Virginia now, they have really come out and done a nice job.
Well, it looks as though that Nick Sorensen is going to come out at quarterback.
Well, Clark has taken some hits.
Adrian, let's check with you.
What they're calling bruised cartilage or to the soft bone area of the chest for Al Clark. Another injury. Lamont Pegues cannot go because he was kicked in his right ankle. So 2 significant injuries as the Hokies begin what could be their last drive here, Ron.
Thanks, Adrian. Wow, they are really significant. 1:56 to play. Virginia by 4. This is Stitt. He is going to be stopped after a gain of 3. Maurice Anderson, it came down on top of him.
A lot of teams, Ron, when they start the 2-minute drill, will run a draw or a screen on the first play and then settle into what they need to do. On that play, it was well defended by Virginia.
Sorensen, that's to Stitt, and he stretches it out. Not enough for the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 2. And a timeout has been called with 1:24 showing on the clock. Some very anxious moments on that sideline as Al Clark looks on and unable to finish what he started. A look at the coach's son. He did his work on the special teams very well just a moment ago, and you would think that 94 yards away that would be enough, particularly with their defense. But Mr. Poindexter and his guys on the far sideline said, nope, we've got it in us, and they showed that they do. Now it's up to the Hokies. Can they come back? Sorensen going to run it. He'll have the first down, and he ate up some valuable time there. 1:16. He'll stop the clock for the first down. Virginia Tech back quickly over the football with no huddle.
Ron, credit George Welsh again. Both coaching staffs done an outstanding job. But Adrian talked about the halftime and they're trying to get his ball club back in this game.
He's got a man open, and he dropped the football. I don't know if the defender got a hand in there or not, but that would have been out of bounds at the 33, Angelo Harrison.
Yeah, Tim Sproul, I think, got a hand in there to deflect the football.
Well, let's look at it one more time, Mike.
Sorensen rolling out, avoids the sack, and then gets a little bit on this football. Let's see if he gets his hand on. Yeah, I think he did.
Sorensen's a young man that he was in the secondary. They had to bring him back over to quarterback because of injuries. Very versatile. Pass complete right over the middle, and that's enough for another first down at the 49 to Harrison.
And they still have 2 timeouts, Virginia Tech, so a lot of time.
But because of the 2-point conversion by Virginia, now they have to put it in the end zone.
They got to get a touchdown.
The field goal will do them no good. Clock runs. 52, now 51. To the sideline, and he threw that one well behind Ken Handy, and it'll stop the clock with 48 ticks left.
Ron, we've had the Alabama-Auburn game, then I went to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Virginia Tech. This crowd has stayed with this ball game now. I mean, they're all standing in this last 48 seconds to try to figure out who's going to win this football game. Well, a couple are sitting.
Sorensen steps up, going to have to get it away, and it is intercepted by Wally Reiner. Antonio Dingle was applying pressure, and Sorensen got it away, and it went into the hands of the opponent. There's Dingle. So he did his work, and Reiner did his job.
You talk about a turnaround game, though. This ball game's had all the makings. Good pressure again by Dingle and Maurice Anderson, and Reiner with the interception. And
Reiner 14 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 sacks.
Great way for Virginia to end the season. A tough loss for Virginia Tech.
Brooks stayed up to let as much time run off the clock as they could. And now the Virginia players telling their fans to stand up and cheer because it's time, and they will not have to snap it again.
We're going to the Peach Bowl. We're hard to get here.
They're going to the Peach Bowl. That's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, young man.
And Gary Stoken, who's here from the Peach Bowl, has to be happy the team it's going to represent.
Players of the game. Brian Threet from Virginia, 13 tackles, interception for a touchdown. Virginia Tech is stiff, 124 yards rushing, a career high, and a touchdown. So the cannon sounds, and this one is history, as Virginia has come back in very dramatic fashion to win over Virginia Tech. The final score is Virginia 36 and Virginia Tech 32. I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.